I, like most people, watch films to relax. So to watch a film about the British government is something that sounds like it would wind me up a lot. But actually, The Special Relationship is a really good film and really enjoyable, quite informative because it looks at the life of, well, the relationship between Tony Blair and his relationships with Bill Clinton and George W. Bush as well. And I've seen numerous films about presidents. I don't know if I've ever seen any about prime ministers apart from The Iron Lady, to the best of my recollection. But this is really enjoyable. It was released in 2010, directed by Richard Loncraine, written by Peter Morgan, and we have Michael Sheen playing Tony Blair, and he fits the role so well. Really, really love his performance in this, and the fabulous Helen McCrory is Cherie Blair, and we also have Dennis Quaid as Bill Clinton, and I have to say, for me, the casting is really good. Certainly I was more interested in the casting and portrayal of Tony Blair than I was of Bill Clinton, but obviously I kind of felt like it all had to feel like it fit and was realistic enough anyway. And for me, it felt believable. I'm not the most knowledgeable of Tony Blair's time in power because I was quite a bit younger. You know, when I was younger, I didn't really get politics. It wasn't something I kept up with. But from what I've learned in hindsight, I actually have his autobiography sitting somewhere to read. I should probably get around to that. But, you know, from what I've learned over the years, for me this feels like a pretty accurate portrayal. If you think otherwise, you know, please let me know. And seeing this quote-unquote special relationship is something that's really interesting, and it's a really fascinating, almost analysis of the relationship between the UK and the US, certainly from the time of Tony Blair's reign. And that's something that needs to be studied. You know, America is obviously arguably the most powerful country in the world. Some would argue China. And although we're small, you know, Britain's pretty powerful, and we need that strong relationship with America. And I think the government of today, well, I was going to say on both sides, but you know, thankfully Trump's no longer anybody and not worth anything. But, you know, people could learn from this in the government. I think it's quite powerful and really moving and very emotional at times as well. There are certain troubles that both parties encounter and how they, you know, help each other through them, and also some restrictions that might cause to this special relationship, and how their personal lives impact their, you know, their professional relationship, and what that could do to both countries. You know, these little things, kind of like the butterfly effect. These tiny little things have a much wider impact, or potentially, and also how the public responded to their behaviours, their attitudes, the way they approach things. I really like it. If you're the kind of person who doesn't like political films, I get it. I really get it. It never used to be my kind of thing. But I think you'll really enjoy this, particularly if you're British or American. I think you'll enjoy the angle. British more so. There's a lot in this that's quite eye-opening, quite informative and educational. There are things that I probably never would have considered about the life of a Prime Minister. And again, if you know of any inaccuracies or anything, please do let me know. I'd be very interested to learn more about this. I probably will read Tony Blair's autobiography and then watch this again and see kind of how I feel it compares. But as a one-time viewing, I really like it. It's really good. You know, it's something that I think everybody should watch. And I think everybody will enjoy it for the most part. It's easy enough to follow even if you're not politically minded. Because I've been slowly getting into politics over the last few years, but I'm still not obsessed with politics like a lot of people are. It's just not my thing. You know, I think the Queen should be in power. You know, that's just me. But at the same time, really enjoyed it. Really impressed with it. Very well edited, very well put together. The development of the narrative, because it is telling us a story, even though it's biographical, the development of the narrative is really effective. I think they focused for the right amount of time on the right things. From my perspective, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb. Really respectable rating thoroughly enjoyable film, if it sounds like something you'd even remotely enjoy, I'd say give it a watch. Certainly, this for me is a film you have to see before you die. I'm really very fond of it.